They are the young upstarts coming through from Vietnam, and they would love to be able to be that upset once more here against MKOI. But for MKOI, this is kind of where they were hoping to show their stuff, show what they were capable of. But it hasn't been their tournament thus far at 2020 Worlds 2025. And now coming into the picks and bans, already we're seeing target bans towards Jojo after a great performance in game number 2.
Importantly, Hero is in for Team Secret Wales, replacing Pun, much more of a carry player from the top lane as Hero. Expect to see things like the Rumble, the Jace. Rumble already banned away by MKOI. And we'll see with the Talia and Azir, the focus on Jojo alongside a Poppy taken away by Team Secret Wales, who elected to be on the blue side for this deciding game.
And we're getting really down there as far as the jungle champs as well. We know we've got Pantheon, Vi, Nocturne, all still available. With the Annie band, you're even going down to the tier of like Ahri in mid lane, Akali, Aurora, these types of champions here that, you know, really do benefit from one of those bursty AD junglers to go along with it. Personally, I would love to see a TSW Nocturne. You know, the Vietnam Nocturne. Nocturne is one of the most banned champs versus this team, and always does have that extra little bit of power at Worlds.
Especially if you start to see MKOI going towards this more dive-orientated composition, like things like the Vi coming through for Elyoya in that jungle, having that disruption. If you've got a Kai'Sa that's trying to follow up, or activities for Jojo Pyun that he wants to get involved in, it can make things a little bit more difficult there. So already though, Rel taken here, trying to secure one of the last few remaining engaged champions, Leona and Nautilus, the two that remain.
Yeah, I mean, since Rakan, Alistar, and Braum are all out from Fearless, I do actually like it, investing in that really early to get that big AoE engage. And so pick up those AD junglers to pair with Aurora, any of the ones that we did mention. We didn't mention an Ivern, though.
Yeah, I don't think he counts as the traditional AD jungler.
No.
Looks like Team Secret Wales are going to move more towards that engage with the Vi. I love the Rel first pick or early pick here by MKOI, just because when Alvaro is on something he is comfortable with, where he can initiate, MKOI thrive, and that is exactly what they're giving him.
There is also the opportunity to swap this Aurora to the top lane. Hero has played one game of it in the past and does do relatively well into the K'Sante, can look to bully it out in the early stages and still open up for Dire to have a good counter matchup if you decide to go for it. But there's that Vi Kai'Sa that we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The dive comp here, and Kai'Sa, one of Eddie's specialties. With the Vi Aurora, it's straightforward. You're looking at dive. So MKOI, what kind of counter to dive can you draft? Lissandra certainly is one piece.
Has she been found? No. But I
that's
love
the whole story, man.
Yeah. Oh, my mistake. I do like the Lissandra for Jojo. We have seen him bring it out already in the LEC, but instead the Xayah to avoid some of that engage. Makes sense. Don't want to leave it to get banned in the next round of bans.
Yeah. The counter engage that we're looking for, the safety there, the most classic matchup, I feel like, that we have historically in competitive League of Legends, the Kai'Sa versus the Xayah.
And now I believe you're just going to ban away anything that's good for into the K'Sante for MKOI. Things like that Gwen can still be shifted, unless you are just assuming that Aurora is going to be moved up into that top side of the map. Could even look to ban away things like the Nautilus or the Leona if you really want. But yeah, I think just top lane matchup's going to be a good call. Make sure Mirwan's comfortable. And Mirwan has had fantastic performances on this K'Sante when he's able to get going and have a good matchup. And I think that's what MKOI will be relying on once more.
Yeah, some exciting low health 2v1 opportunities maybe in his future. Meanwhile, as you say, expecting to continue to chop down on Jojo's champ pool here. Okay, the Victor is the one of choice as mid lane is really getting down there.
A Bard band away from Taki by MKOI. I'm looking like we've got jungle and mid left for MKOI, and you are really beginning to pinch that pool quite a lot. The Victor band away, the Vex band away. MKOI, like, let's pick their mid laner here, expecting that Aurora to go mid. You could, of course, go for jungle Neferi, an option, and it will be locked in for Elyoya once the weight of the game on his shoulders to a degree. We saw it in the Kiana game. We now see it with the Neferi. Need to get ahead in the early game, need to get the ball rolling. And it did work for MKOI when they started to get towards those team fights.
Also, just another one that has that invulnerability, keep himself safe from being a potential dive pick from this Vi and this Kai'Sa. But as you say, you need to be that damage threat in fights, need to get the ball rolling. So I do like that we're seeing this last pick coming through for MKOI so they can make sure that JoJo is comfortable and being able to enable this Neferi in the jungle.
Exactly. I always love it into the Vi because of the W for Neferi. And there you go, Medic. You were talking about the Jace early on. We do get the Jace coming through as well for their side.
The Jace does feel a little at odds with the rest of the composition, though, because I traditionally would look more towards, hey, we want Poke and Ezreal and these kind of things. Whereas when I'm looking at Team Secret Wells, it is much more dive. So I'm curious if it is just a case of, hey, get some early gold in towards Hero, leave him as a split pusher that we don't really want to get involved in fights, and play through a strong 4v4, where it's Cassante struggling to answer for the Jace in the side.
Leona locked in for Team Secret Wales to round out their comp, gives them a bit of a long-range engage, which they'll definitely enjoy. The ability to get, Neferi's invulnerabilities out, that core of the pack. She has to eviscerate away at a hover of the LeBlanc, but it's going to be RE for Jojo Pure, something he's so experienced on.
Yeah, that's what we were mentioning, because the ult buff on the patch as well. We're maybe thinking of seeing a little bit more of it, but as we get into the Fearless matches, we really get to it. And now you're going to be able to see him on one of the champions that he definitely was well known for.
And also just so incredibly strong in enabling these ganks towards the mid lane, trying to shut down the Aurora in the early stages and get Elyoya rolling. And this has kind of been the story of, hey, Alvaro working with Elyoya, playing towards that mid lane for so long in the LEC. Now they have to see if they can do it against Team Secret Wales. But Histo has been fantastic in working with Taki in their own right, in being able to play towards Dire, shut down any aggression in that game. We've even saw it in the start of game number 1, or sorry, over the course of the series in game 2. And now we just have to see if they can find that success here again.
Here we are, do or die for Team Secret Wales and for MKOI. Elimination or elation as the coaches bump fists and take themselves off the stage. It's all down to those 10 players loading into Summoner's Rift to see who goes through to 2-2 and plays in a couple of days' time, and who takes the flight home. For MKOI, it's all about vengeance. 3 times in a row, they have lost to an LCP team at internationals. PSG, GAM, CFO have all defeated them. Now Team Secret Wales just 1 game away from taking their spot in that 2-2 slot, and looking to prove that that LCP is not just the Flying Oysters.
And MKOI also said on Euphoria that they wanted to play against CFO. They wanted to right some of the wrongs from MSI. But the fact that here against Team Secret Wales, they may not even get past the finish line, I think would be incredibly disappointing for the fans, for the organization, for the players. And now they have to see if they can find that moment in Game 3 to bring them just one more day along.
Breaking some of the tension here with some friendly emo game.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. And the elimination game for each of them, still feeling very good.
I feel like there's an initiation ceremony for top laners that no one else knows about, where they go in, it's like, okay, this is where you go, and this is how much you can emote, and at this exact time you have to leave, and that's the rules, okay?
Unless you're Broken Blade against Mirwin, where you use that, and then 5 members come out of a bush and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The little bait and switch, you know?
No such dirty tactics in this game, though. We've got honorable top laners this time around.
Dire will get the ward across the wall here onto those Razorbeaks. Foxfire out of Jojo Pyun, both of them running that electrocute, but Dire on the right side of the trades as Jojo already has popped a potion.
Yeah, Jojo on his most played champion of his career of all time, the Ahri here, in such a clutch match. We'll see if that ends up being a deciding factor. Jungler starting on opposite sides here, so we do have Histo pathing towards his Jace lane, towards his pushing top lane. Isolated matchup up there. Meanwhile, Elyoya pathing bottom side, as is so frequent for MKOI. They really do need their bottom lane to be in good condition.
And I think it makes sense, as you say, like Histo wants to be able to get up, get some deep vision in that top side, and just enable this Jace to play through the strength of the lane. I don't really think we'll see much in the way of dives, but just allowing Hero to play as aggressive as possible is all you really want in that top lane.
Yeah, and for the MKOI side, of course, Elyoya wants, Supo wants this Xayah to be multiple items here, to be able to really carry this game. So far this series, it has not been the best for Supa, and they really are going to need him to do some work in this game, this final deciding one. Of course, Elyoya is on a champion. He can output some very respectable damage himself. We'll see if he can carry some of that damage too.
I think often dependent on the build. For Elyoya. for Jojo. I thought you said Jojo instead of Elioya, so I was going to say it's depending on the build for the Ahri, how much damage she puts out, because sometimes you see those slightly tankier Ahri builds, but Elioya, as you say, will definitely put out quite a bit of DPS on that Neferi if he's able to get onto this backline, because there's always the risk. You jump in with a Hound's Pursuit, immediately you get stunned up with a Shudder Daybreak, you have Cease and Desist, you have Solar Flare to follow up, and you just don't get an opportunity to move as you dive in towards that backline. Hero with a slight lead over Mirwin on the top side, as to be expected in the ranged into melee matchup, using that ranged form to get the grasp stacks off. And Histo and Elioya on opposite sides of the map should both just take their own scuttlecrafts.
Mirren does have to be careful about how aggressive he trades here, because there is a jungler on the top side of the map, and that wave will crash, and I think this is the signal for Histo to go. But
Mirren going in, look for the 1v1, and Topos goes in with the Pathmaker and just claps him! Smacks him between his and Topos. Histo will get one in response. In the end, Team Secret Wales will be happy with the extra assist goal.
And he puts up the emote at the end that says, "I hate junglers." he gets his solo kill first, though, before the arrival of the jungler. In the end, of course, the extra assist on the kill does mean the extra 50% gold for the team. But Merwin here on his Cassante, you were talking about it already.
And the fact that you managed to get the early chain vest is so nice, because it's a tier purchase and some boots on the opposite side. Not really something that will try and push the lane forward, but it's a really nice job. I'm assuming jump, to the minion that had gone forward, and then uses that W to make sure they can get the auto attack. And the flip comes through, but Mirwin, he already got the job done. Really nicely played.
I actually really like using the Pathmaker instead of the Q3 there. It feels like the anticipation from Hero is I will look for the Q3 animation and then flash. But as soon as Pathmaker comes out, it's much more tricky to dodge away as Dyer hits the weirding onto Jojo, but with the way he pushed in, Jojo should just be able to get a recall off. Has gone for an early Ruby Crystal. We'll see where that build ends up going on the Ahri, and Hero still winning out the trades on top side.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he'd try and go for the early Bramble Vest, to be honest, just because it is nice into some of these matchups where at least you're able to trade back effectively when you are getting auto attack down, some damage is going back. But the early chain vest is still incredibly nice. Again, you scale so well with resistances on Cassante, plus the fact you're just not going to get hit for as much is going to be nice, although Mirren is struggling a little bit as he gets back to late.
Yeah, we'll see once again, because both junglers, again, re-clearing to opposite sides of the map, so the pressure is always going to remain. Jace just teleports right back up there, and after the deaths, kind of shrugs it off, gets back to pushing, back to harassing you. Meanwhile, is going to be traded for the pressure on the other side. Ooh, had to use the smite at the end. Stings a little bit, but not the biggest issue here, and we're still going to get the return.
Mirwin is level 6, has his flash, as does Hero, both of them holding on to it from that first fight. Histo looking for the flank position. Shock Blast going to hit onto this Cassante. Histo going in. Mirwin forces him away. Vault Breaker out with the plate over to Hero as MKOI secure the Drake.
It's a nice play from Histo, even if he doesn't get the kill, as you say, just putting that pressure down, keeping Hero safe and trying to abuse the matchup in its entirety, even getting this Scuttlecraft on that top side, but bot lane.
The dive in with the Zenith Blade. Blade Caller coming out from Super to get the root onto Eddie. Heal was used by Taki in exchange for the cleanse from Super. Taki still looking for a little bit more here as he goes forward with the Oracles, just forcing Super and Alvaro away. Meanwhile, on the top side, Dyer looking for the dive. Another Zenith Blade onto Alvaro, but Elioya's on his way. Doesn't have the 6 yet. Alvaro flashing away. Cleanse flash out by Taki with a dive in with the Eviscerate. Meanwhile, on the top side, Histo and Dyer look for more. Taki low gets away. No! Elioya gets him in the end. Super just surviving. Mirwin down to 300 HP as the dive materializes for Team Secret Wales. Mirwin looking for that all out. Pops the Pathmaker into the Vault Breaker. Hero flashes in. Will tank 2 tower shots though. And he's slain by the tower. Mirwin unable to proc. An auto on him means that Team Secret Wales get out with a kill and not giving up any gold to Mirwin.
Yeah, no one else was taking right there. And in the end, it is answered on the other side. This is the kind of fun that you get when you have opposite side jungle paths. We did have Jojo stay mid though, so the Ahri passively wins out by staying mid and pushing. His tempo is a little bit messed up there with the interrupt on the recall, but he did get the guaranteed push of the extra minion wave of the tower plate in mid too.
But that's why I was kind of surprised to see Eddie and Taki go for the fight on bot side. They were going for the dive on top, knew they were on the weak side, but still wanted to take the trade, and then as a result, they end up giving that kill across, so it could have been a bigger win for Team Secret Wales if the bot lane had just kind of played it passively.
Yeah, Supa barely living too there on the edge.
Mirwin going all out. Hero doesn't have flash, and Mirwin's just going to chase him down with the Intopos. Gets it up to the Q3. Zenith from Tucky missing towards that top side. Mirwin very happy in this 1v1.
Yeah, Merwin says, welcome to the series, Hero. Puts him down again on the Cassante. And that is going to be pretty big repercussions because there's no teleport for TSW to answer that. So Merwin gets to push the full wave into the tower on bottom side.
And this is why this man is so terrifying on this pick. He consistently seems to be able to find these moments where he can find the solo kill, get massive tempo leads for himself, and open up windows crucially for MKOI to find success in side lanes, even after he's just gone down. And now Histo, happy that he's able to pick up at least two of those point runs.
Takes 2 of the grubs, could have taken 3, but decides to leave the 3rd one as Lyoyet looking to try and steal away as much of this jungle as possible. There is a red buff if he can get any deeper, but Histo comes across, and with that last scrub being left up, I wonder if that's maybe just a strategic play.
I think it was just to try and protect his bot side jungle and make sure that it wasn't going to be completely stolen away by Elyoya.
Yeah, 100%, because Dyer saw Elyoya, and so they had vision on him, and Dyer was trying to keep him there, but Nefiri is pretty slippery, so Elyoya is able to get out.
Now Histo pathing up towards the top side, looking for the fight against Supa and Alvaro. Taki has been chucking out those Zenith blades on repeat. Shattering Strike, Solar Flare. Featherstorm still available for Supa, doesn't use it yet. Histo still looking for that dive. Alvaro down to about 2/3 HP, and as soon as the ward comes across the wall, Histo backs away.
Supa not really budging there at all. Doesn't use the Featherstorm, the flash either to get away. Knows that it's only going to be the slow that hits, and that was the reason they didn't go for it, but now bot lane.
Hero stepping forward, doesn't have the flash. Elioya's on the chase. Darking Daggers don't connect, and he doesn't want to go in with that Hound's Pursuit.
Yeah, wave is still in a terrible spot for Hero. Looks like Cassante is just going to delete the wave anyways, though, as Histo will now return to finish the work that he started earlier.
Nice interrupt there from Alvaro onto the reset from the Kaisa. Actually interrupts it again, so Eddie going to be very late on the reset. Dragon in 55 seconds, and I think that should give that push now on the bot lane to Supa, so then you can actually transition over first towards that Dragon.
For the moment, Alvaro just getting a little bit of vision around this blue buff. Red buff still available for Histo, who has been stealing away as much of Elyoya's jungle as possible. You can actually see Histo has 4 camps up, and Elyoya only has 1. There's only his wolves for him right now, as Histo will be able to get on a little bit of a lead. Next strike up in 30 seconds time. We'll see if MKOI want to force.
They're ganking bottom.
There's a gank happening bot side. Featherstorm still available for Supa here. But the flank from Taki, cleanse immediately. There's the exhaust going down now. Elyoya and Alvaro on their way across. Supa uses the Featherstorm. Does have to burn his cleanse and that ultimate to get out.
That Featherstorm was perfect though. The Zenith blade and the immediate ult was coming from Taki, and the fact that you managed to just barely dodge both is the only reason Supa was able to escape away from those.
Yeah, no Kaisa ult and no Leona ult now on the side of TSW, and the Dragon just spawned. Looks like we're still getting resets anyways, as Elyoya does have the full Sojin done, so nice power spike there for the Nefiri. This really does boost the champion's damage here. The second Q, especially with the execution damage on it, so he's going to head right back out towards the Dragon side of the map.
You kind of feel the tension between these two teams. Like, game 1 was a kill a minute, game 2 a little bit slower. Now we're at 5 kills in 11 minutes, basically halved from the speed that we were playing in game 1. You both know their tournament lives on the line as Elyoya will start up this Cloud Drake. They have push in bot, and the wave in mid has already been cleared out. So it should be an easy enough Dragon here for MKOI. Will be their 2nd of the game.
It's Mirwin who needs to be careful though. This entire series, Team Secret Whale has been so good with the cross maps, but Mirwin backing right the way off, making sure he's not going to be under any threat on that top side. And it will be MKOI able to pick up the objective with no real answer from Team Secret Whales.
Okay, a lot of pings going down on this Xayah that has no ult, no cleanse at the moment, but I think Supa should be safe either way. And he gets a little nervous, has no vision around him, so backs off and pays respects, goes for his reset, no problem.
Has to do it now. Without the Featherstorm, without the cleanse, you need to just be that little bit more cautious. As Alvaro Putting a bit of vision towards the top side. We'll spot Histo jumping across the wall here. Alvaro could look for an engage into Shadowing Strike, and he'll use it. Flash Shadowing Strike into the charm. Cease and desist used perfectly to buffer out of that charm. Ball Breaker out as well. Perfectly played by Histo, but there still might be too many MKOI members surrounding him and getting the kill. TP in by Taki, no mana at the moment on Jojo. Accelerating Shock Blast coming out from Hero as they go in with a Hound's Pursuit. And now this Jace is in the middle of MKOI. Alvaro using that Magnustorm into a great crash down, but Dire's here to bolster the defenses. Super coming across from the side. Alvaro falling low will be taken out by a Weirding. Hero able to escape. Taki going back in with the Zenith Blade. Super flashing forward with the Blade Caller, but now the rest of his team are nowhere to be found. Team Secret Wales find 2.
Eddie arrives and he collects the extra money that Kraken Slayer was just done on the Kai'Sa. That Kai'Sa as well, after driving by, grabbing the kill, as Jojo lands another charm, by the way, hitting all 3 charms, although the first one was a really nice buffer from his toe. Regardless, though, the Kai'Sa coming in at the end and collecting a lot of money is very good prospects for TSW, with them being a very dive-oriented composition with at least 4 of the members.
And it looked like maybe MKOI would be able to play this one out. They managed to get Histo, but as Kobe said, the buffer was perfect. They chased down Histo, and then at this stage they realized, hang on, no, we need to try and back away. We don't have the members in the position that we want to, especially with Hero coming down. But watch the charm. Interrupts the crash down from Hero, and Alvaro and MKOI are still trying to play this one out. But this Kai'Sa has ran the entire way from bot lane, whereas you've got the Cassante still in base. So more members of Team Secret Wales can jump in the mid lane.
Jojo caught out, doesn't have the flash, no Spirit Rush for him either, and Eddie gets his second. Alvaro a little bit off to the side here, we'll be able to crash down away from it, but now Eddie, 900 gold ahead of his opposite man.
Eddie, I swear, this guy is the hope for TSW every single game. And it's going to be no different this time around on the Kai'Sa. Now 2 kills to his name.
Team Secret Wales now 1.3k ahead, 30 seconds on the Herald. You see the reset coming out from Taki. He's already completed his redemption, whereas Alvaro does not have that tool in his arsenal. So MKOI much more likely to play down towards this bottom side, give up the top side pressure, and you can see Elioyo coming across. There's the TP in, redemption already onto Hero. Hound's Pursuit coming down as well as Mirwin looks for the Q3, but Hero's topped up by that redemption, still taken out by Jojo, who came in with that teleport. Dire here to try and defend the tower and will manage to do so. Dire jumping forward will just back away.
There's so many members of MKOI here, though. They're still trying to fish. Dire needs to be a little bit careful. Jojo's starting to step forward, but it looks like they will just back away. Is Histo able to get the Rift Herald?
Yeah, once again, TSW still with the gold lead, but stacking dragons for MKOI, and they are making a couple of pick plays for themselves. You see in the aftermath as well, important to lay behind the super deep warding. Right now, Alvaro is lighting up this red quadrant of the jungle as the second red buff is going to spawn. And we're only a minute and 30 seconds away from the dragon, so already preemptively laying the groundwork to continue the dragon stacking for MKOI.
Already have 2 to their name. No feat of warfare claimed, feat of strength claimed by either team as of yet. 2 objectives to 1. First 3 kills were hit by MKOI, so either the next objective or the tower for MKOI will be enough.
I am curious how aggressive MKOI want to get at this next dragon, though. Rod of Ages only just completed a single stack for Jojo. Your Nefiri isn't really hitting on all cylinders at this stage, and same with Azaya. She really wants some sort of attack speed item before she commits to any sort of fights. I think the power spikes here on Team Secret Wales off of a singular item are just significantly stronger. So I like MKOI trying to play away from the objective, look to get gold in their favor and see if they can find picks rather than going toe-to-toe in the team fights.
Smart play from Hero just to back away from that tower. Knew that Alvaro was in the area, could kind of expect that Elioyo was in the area. Team Secret Wales should be able to take the first tower. No wave here for MKOI. Means that TSW will get that first turret on the board.
Okay, it's gonna come down to the last objective then.
Yep. Next Drake, 20 seconds away. And at the moment, MKOI not in the position to really fight around it. You can see MKOI trying to deny as many of these minions as possible by letting the towers hit them before they are felled by Jojo in the end. Now, Jojo doesn't have his teleport, nor does Mirwin. And no TPs on the side of TSW either, but at the moment, they're the ones with more players towards this dragon side of the map.
They also have the Rift Herald. I think Team Secret Wales, again, the one item spikes, much stronger position on the map, was in a much better position. So MKOI happy to just call it and say we won't take this fight. Instead, we'll look to push in, put some pressure onto this topside jungle to pressure onto the tier 2, and if Team Secret Wales over-index into protecting the tier 2, we can always fall back and try and take this mid turret instead.
Yeah, and they're kind of fishing around the jungle as well. Taki here, pretty tanky on Leona, trying to deny like big cross-map play. MKOI in the end get a couple of jungle camps, and
Shadowing Strike immediately, they dive onto Taki, and the Eclipse is not enough to save him! The Redemption not down in time, he does land the Solar Flare, Spirit Rush, dive in with a killing streak from Eddie as well, but Elioya's on the chase, trying to take down that Kai'Sa, and the Darking Daggers will be enough! The Hounds of Hell from Elioya for the double! MKOI collapse!
Alvaro consistently interrupted the follow-up from Team Secret Wales as the pick on Taki that might have just blown this game open in favor of MKOI.
huge error from TSW. Why did they dive in on that after Taki got caught? Vi ultimate and Kai'Sa ultimate. You saw Eddie immediately regretted it. He flashes out afterwards. But MKOI, they get even more than they wanted out of this. They steal the blue buff, get their kill on the Leona, and then here, you know, he ults in. Immediately, Eddie tries to flash away, but Elioya is on him.
And it's the veteran of Team Secret Wales that is caught. The man who's been leading this group of youngsters to this international stage that may have just cost them, as now once more stepping up towards Mirwin, just wants to try and get some vision back. And MKOI, they're looking for more picks.
Trying to catch our hero, who's not had a great game. Shadowing the stun coming down there from Alvaro with the Shadowing Strike. Crash down as well. Hero forced down to about a third HP as Jojo should be able to gain control over this wave. 4 stacks on his Rod of Ages. Horizon Focus completed. 2 items now on Eddie, though, who is only 300 gold behind his opposite man. Eddie, really where you hang your hat now if you're Team Secret Wales, it feels.
Especially because even though you don't get the kill, forcing the reset here from Hero means that you can put pressure on the spot lane turret and deny Histo from actually using this Rift Herald. It is still sitting in his back pocket, but hasn't found a good timing window to put it down yet.
MKOI, they just control the map now. I mean, applying pressure in both side lanes and the safety to control mid, since there's no tower there for TSW already. Feels like they can just complete the circle, grab your last outer tower, further increase this gold lead on Jojo's Ahri, and really put the threat of further picks onto TSW, get right back on track for that dragon stacking, only 2.5 minutes away from the arrival of the mountain.
MKOI will be very happy with where the gold has landed for them as a team. Elioya being 3-0-2, Black Cleaver, Spear complete, Jojo being ahead as well. Is still going to start up this Artican. You can see Dyer looking for a little bit of a flank as he moves towards that mid lane, but Team Secret Wales will be forced off the objective for now.
It's a bluff, it feels like, from Secret Wales, wanting to see if they can get Jojo Pyun to TP, maybe use some of that pressure of the elimination game to force errors from MKOI. There is the Rift Herald, though. And not really many members on this top side for MKOI, so it looks like he should be able to get this top lane turret.
Try and charge in towards it. Can use it as an escape tool as well. Riftherald will be able to get that charge in. Mirwin here to defend, but he can't do anything about Riftherald actually managing to take down that tower. Team Secret Wales, they use it, they get gold out of it. Obviously would have liked the mid lane tower a little bit more, but you got to take what you can get when you are 3k gold behind.
They were also pinging the wards that they knew were in their own jungle, having seen Jojo Pyun just reset, so I think a little bit wary of a potential TP flank from the Ahri, and happy enough to just get some of that gold and not, as you say, overextend and maybe throw that game away.
And Jojo, with this tanky build, you know, the early rod stacking up, yeah, but also the mid game, just Verdant Barrier by itself as a little component provides so much value versus a team that has Vi and Leona on it. Very, very high value spells to block with that thing. So Jojo, not only is he rich on his most played champion of his career, but he's also in a very, very good spot itemized here to make some aggressive picks and position pretty deep into the jungle. You see MKOI right now trying to move up a little bit into the defensive vision that TSW have set.
Yeah, sneaking forward here with that Oracles will deny any knowledge of where he is. Histo's going to go on towards the Wolves. Team Secret Wales as a 3-man squad defending their own jungle. Alvaro looking for something here as Elioya backs away. His dogs will take that shot blast. Jojo looking for a flank as well onto Eddie. You get that cleanse out of him before a fight begins. Be very happy, but with no pressure, bot hero moves across, and covers his AD carry.
We're starting to see the work that MKOI put in over the course of summer coming to fruition, playing through that 1-3-1 with moving Jojo back and forth between these lanes, fishing for picks, and it's a slow, patient game from MKOI at the moment. We'll have to see if Team Secret Wales can find a way to break this. Dire hovering just out of vision, hoping to find that pick.
Yeah, man, it is crazy hard because you're like, all right, we're a dive comp. Should we go for Nefiri? No, W is up. All right, let's not go for Nefiri. That one's hard. Should we go for Ari? Well, she has a spell shield and ultimate ready. Okay, should we go for Xayah? Well, Xayah has cleanse splash and ult, so.
Oh, you're saying Cassante.
Yeah. This like, what target do you dive with this dive comp? I think MKOI just have just set themselves up with all of the answers here to TSW, and so good job getting their Dragon Soul point there. TSW are forced into this kind of like desperate, I feel like, Otacon pull.
Yeah, that's what they're going to go for, and MKOI actually pushing Dire out of his blue side jungle. The Otacon already down to 8,000 HP as MKOI look to see if the fight is viable. Mirwin on the flank, Redemption coming down. Alvaro with a 3-man Magnet Storm, and it's Super that takes the Otacon. Pop goes the Vi, and the rest of his team follows suit. MKOI looking for vengeance against the LCP as they take down 4. Dire unallowed to escape. It's an ace for MKOI.
Movistar KOI will keep their world's dreams alive as they march down the mid towards the base of Team Secret Wales.
They got a bunch of Otacon flowers, and they will put those flowers at the graves of TSW. Triple stun on the crash down from Alvaro, and they just wiped them off the map.
Alvaro has been so crucial to MKOI when it comes to these team fights, when it comes to the engages all year long, and once again, he is stepping up for MKOI on the international stage, pushing Team Secret Wales back.
Don't care about Otacon, play for fights.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, get them both.
Didn't care about Otacon. As actually we see a catch coming out, all out going out from Mirwin as he looks to escape from Taki and hits though. Hero coming in as well. Mirwin, very tanky. You can see the damage from Super in that last fight. I will say, it's easy enough to pull the feathers back through everyone when they're CC'd for a year and a half. Credit to Alvaro, he's the one that set it up.
Yeah, Q flash crash down.
I mean, when he's doing 2.5k damage in the fight in his own right, I think it's pretty good.
Redemption bolstering up those numbers. the aggro Redemption. Jojo with the charm onto Dire. Should be able to jump out of this. We'll go across the veil, try to get back towards his tower, but the tower isn't even safe as Jojo just dives in and Dire dies.
Yeah, that's about all you need to say for that one. Right in his face, just destroys him under tower. And TSW, they were already up against the wall. They were already desperate with the last play. Now even more so, trying to just go out fighting.
As 2.5 minutes until that's all they need is.
Flash forward into the cease and desist, and they find Super! A perfect play by Team Secret Wales in the mid lane. Go down fighting, you say. They're not sure about the go down part yet, Kobe.
Well, they need Baron to go down if they hope to hold on to this, and they need to start it up immediately. You can see everyone in MKOI is running as quick as they can to try and answer for the play.
Baron begun by Team Secret Wales. MKOI looking to collapse. Dire still in base, doesn't have TP. He's running as fast as his legs can carry him to join his team. Currently a 4v4 as Alvaro looks for the flank position. Elioya going in with the Darking Daggers. Dire trying to flank from the bottom side of the fight. Alvaro's here though. Crash down, Magnusol finds 2, hand pursuit in. Elioya's already killed off the enemy jungler, and Eddie is next on the menu. These hounds are hungry, and the pursuit goes on to Taki. A triple for Elioya.
The captain of MKOI picks up the triple kill on the back of it, and MKOI, despite losing Super, will hold on to the fight and take the Baron for themselves.
All right, MKOI looking like they are going to survive here at Worlds and wrap up this series. Dire and Jojo once again as Dire is forced to flee.
MKOI now 8,000 gold ahead. They will secure the Baron. They have 2 waves pushing in. For Team Secret Wales, the shot is another catch. It's another pick onto Super. It's another great engage from Hitsto.
And that's what people love about this team. They never just sit back and lose. They're always going to look to still make the aggressive play. And the flash from Hitsto to reduce the amount of time that Super had to react to that was great. Then, of course, you're still in a tough situation.
As Jojo maybe called out a little bit. TP is coming in from Team Secret Wales. Histo still looking for that cease and desist. Volt breaker forward. The charm will stop in. TP behind as well by Mirwin. Jojo Pyun's going to be the first target. Solar Player's going to follow up. Mirwin looking for that flank TP. Jojo will fall first. The shutdown goes over to Taki, but Elioya's on that backline once again. It's Histo and Taki trying to survive through Elioya. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Dyer just gets assassinated by Super and Mirwin. Taki trying to get away from Elioya, but he continues to chase forward with that call of the pack, and Taki's done for. Hero, full HP, wasn't really in this battle at all. MKOI will take 3, only losing their mid laner.
Team Secret Wales will find the Ari, but Jose Pyun has already done his job for MKOI. He has been fantastic all series long, and he bought enough time for MKOI to jump down to that bottom side, get the kills, and now it's Mountain Soul for an already beefy MKOI.
Another fight, another bunch of gold for MKOI, and they're going to lay destruction to the towers afterwards.
Mirwin diving in with the all-out onto Hero, who's just deleted by the feathers. Super at that 3-item point on this Xayah. Histo trying to steal away everything he can, trying to get any gold in his back pockets, but currently 12,000 gold advantage for MKOI as they push through the bot side.
They're going to continue to keep up this pressure. The split push is incredibly strong right now with this Baron buff, and Team Secret Wales are spread thin. I honestly don't know how they get through Mirwin at this stage.
They're still going to jump onto Elioya, who does tank a couple of tower shots. He dives back in with that Eviscerate, but with the minions pushing in, Mirwin pushing through the bot side, Jojo about to join the rest of his team, and with Baron buff remaining for the next 50 seconds, this Red Bull Baron power play may include a 50 gold Nexus.
MKOI about to lay final siege to the Nexus turrets, and here comes the team.
Histo looking for that engage, the Magnus Storm from Alvaro diving in, Spirit Rush from Jojo just to escape. Histo down first. Taki the next target for MKOI. Super trading with Dyer, who just gets back to the fountain in time. Meanwhile, Eddie doing everything he can, but he just can't survive through the wallet dip. It's vengeance for MKOI. They take down the LCP, and they go to 2-2.
MKOI find themselves now 1 series away from being able to make it to playoffs. The smiles on their faces well earned, because that was a tough series.